What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shuffle Squad's YouTube channel. I'm Jerrick, and today we are going to be going over a very interesting deck that just took top 4 2 weekends ago in Gdansk, Poland. Now, I'm really sorry if I butchered the name of that city, but the deck I am talking about is Palkia VSTAR with Ice Rider. This deck was piloted to a top 4 finish by Luke, so congratulations to them on an amazing run. And without further ado, let's dive into the deck list and let's get into some games. Alright, so the main star of the show here is going to be the Origin Form Palkia VSTAR. If you forgot what it did, Subspace Swell hits for 60 damage plus 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Considering we're in a format where benches are usually pretty full, Palkia will be hitting for pretty relevant damage for most of the game. Combine that with its V-Star Power Star Portal. During your turn, you may attach up to 3 water energy cards from your discard pile to your water Pokemon in any way you'd like, and you can easily power up any of your attackers in the deck. Let's get into some of those attackers. One of the most interesting ones is a 1/1 Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Yeah, you heard that right. If you forgot what that did, because it's a blast from the past, Ride of the High King hits for 10 damage, plus 30 more damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And then its second attack, Max Lance, hits for 10 damage, but you may discard up to 2 energy from this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 120 more damage for each card you discarded in this way, hitting for a max of 250, which is a good number to hit. You could also power up the Chien-Pao EX. There is one in the deck. Hailblade does 60 damage, and then you may discard any amount of water energy from your Pokemon, and this attack does 60 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So, by attaching for turn, in combination with the Star Portal, and the help of Melony, which we'll get into in a bit, you can easily get a Chien-Pao powered up to eliminate any threat on your opponent's side of the board. To round off the Pokemon here, we have a Suicune V. The Suicune here, I think, is if you go second, you're still able to attack on turn 1 and take the prize lead, because you can attach for turn and then Melony onto it, so you can Blizzard Rondo for an early knockout. Now let's get into the trainers. So for supporters, it's very simple, real straightforward. 4 Irida, 4 Melony. Irida works great with any water deck, as you're able to find a water Pokemon and any item card, so playing 4 of those is a no-brainer. As well as the 4 Melony, you get the energy acceleration from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon Vs, and you get to draw 3 cards, and then you do play 1 Boss's Orders. You may be thinking 1 Boss's Orders isn't enough, but it's fine because the deck is also playing 4 Cross Switchers. So, combination of the Cross Switchers and the Boss's Orders, you should have plenty of gust to finish your games. To search out your Pokemon, the deck also plays 4 Battle VIP Pass. Battle VIP Pass is like the best turn 1 card in the game right now, as well as 3 Ultra Balls and 2 Nest Balls. So you can find your Pokemon pretty easily and pretty consistently. The deck also plays 3 Trekking Shoes. Again, this is just for consistency, helps dig through your deck. Also can help get water energies into the discard pile to use in tandem with Melony or Star Portal. The deck plays 2 Earthen Vessels, which I think took place of like Capacious Bucket from older formats with Palkia, so it's easier for you to search your water energies out of the deck. And then, of course, 1 Canceling Clone, because a lot of decks that play low HP Pokemon are also playing Manaphy. But the combination of Canceling Clone plus Cross Switcher and the Greninja Moonlight Shuriken, you can easily eliminate 2 low HP Pokemon off the board. Now, the thing that did catch me by surprise with this deck is the plethora of Switch cards. The deck plays 3 Raw Switch, as well as 2 Escape Ropes. Now, I don't know if that was because of the popularity of Block Lax, or if Luke just wanted to make sure they were able to pivot at any point they wanted to throughout the game to attack with their preferred attacker. There's 1 Collapse Stadium, as well as 9 basic water energies. So that's the deck. Now we see what's in it. Let's get into some games and let's see how we do. This is one of the first formats in a long time where a lot of decks are actually choosing to go second. Leading Mew here is awesome because Mew does have free retreat. And we have 2 Battle VIP Pass in our opening hands. Let's see what our opponent is playing. Alright. That doesn't give us too much information, honestly. We will take the mulligan. And let's see what we have here. Okay, so our opponent started a Bidoof. Alright. So what I'm going to do first is bench this Palkia, and then we will Battle VIP Pass, and let's search through the deck. Now, I definitely wish I knew what I was playing against with that mulligan. That way I knew what to grab, but let's take a quick look at the prize cards. We do have a Ice Rider in here, so we have access to that. The Cross Switchers and Clone are there, which is good. And our Stadium is there if needed. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a Greninja. And honestly, to help dig a little further, I might retreat into this Mew once our turn is finished. Now with the second VIP pass, I want to grab Palkia. And again, I don't know what I'm playing against, but I am pretty excited to get the Ice Rider into play. I do have a supporter for next turn, so I don't need to save the bench spot for Lumineon. So let's go ahead and grab that Ice Rider. Again, I haven't played this card in like 2 years, so I'm super excited to just get it into play. So let's Trekking Shoes. Well, I guess we said we're going to forego the Lumineon, so might as well dump it. Alright, and we did get a Cross Switcher. And we will retreat. Let's see if we could find an Earthen Vessel off this Mew. We don't, but we do have another Trekking Shoes. Again, I would like to find a Water Energy this turn, whether I decide to Concealed Cards. Well, there it is, the Water Energy. So let's Concealed Cards, and let's see what we draw into here. Alright, so we will attach to the Palkia for the turn, and then we'll pass it over to our opponent. Honestly, in my opinion, that was a pretty strong turn one. And we have an Irida to follow up for next turn. Irida's an awesome supporter in these water decks, as it helps us find any item we want and a water Pokemon. Ooh, so it looks like we're playing against Cloth, Hisuian, Electrode. Okay. Alright. Well, that's exciting. I have not tested this matchup too much, being honest, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this one goes. But I'm pretty excited. It is a lot of fun when your opponent plays fun decks that are still competitive, if that makes sense. I guess what I'm trying to say is Cloth Electrode can definitely win some games. So it's one of my favorite rogue decks at the moment, and I might be hyping it up a little too much, but I am just excited to see it being played right now. Alright, so our opponent definitely will get the turn 1 KO here, which is fine, because we'll respond and we'll take 2 prize cards, while our opponent only took 1. So, we are in a pretty good spot. Ooh, and they didn't do much with the rest of their turn. Okay. So I'll promote the Mew, because it is free retreat. And see what we draw here. Cross Switcher. Okay. I do want to take 2 prizes, so I'll probably save those. But I do want to evolve here first, just so that can't get KO'd easily. We'll Irida. I want to grab the Palkia VSTAR, obviously. And an Earthen Vessel, because for some reason, we are not doing so hot finding our water energies. So let's Vessel. Get rid of this. Let's get some of our waters out of the deck. And again, I'm going to save my Star Portal for when I need it. I don't need it this turn, since I can just attach to attack. So we'll save it right now. We'll Concealed Cards into... Okay, another Vessel. We'll attach here. And we'll retreat out of there. And thanks to the poison damage, we hit for just enough with Subspace Swell for the knockout. So we do take the prize lead here by taking 2 prizes, which I am pretty happy about, because based on my opponent's board right now, I don't think they can respond and knock out the Palkia VSTAR. So the Palkia should be able to tank a hit here. And actually, the more I think about it in our format right now, I think why the deck was able to do so well and kind of maybe catch some people by surprise. 280 is an awkward number to hit for some decks. So into the meta, like for example, in the early game, Charizard EX, if you haven't taken any prizes, they're not going to knock out your Palkia VSTAR, right? So same thing with Mew. Without some of their power tablets and the Choice Belt, they won't be able to knock out your Palkia VSTAR either. So maybe maybe Palkia is being slept on a little bit. All right, but let's get into our turn here. Do this. I don't think I'm gonna need the canceling clone here, so I kind of want to get rid of this just so our opponent does not have an easy way to continuously poison us every turn. And I will Irida. Not a Battle VIP Pass. What I want to do is like switch out of this poison. That way next turn my opponent doesn't have an easy KO if I swing with my other Palkia. I'm trying to deny prize cards here, so I think I am going to switch, and I will probably start setting up a third Palkia just because. I don't want the rope. Now let's see what we draw into with concealed cards. And with that, we should have 3 energy in the discard pile now. So we'll get the full value out of Star Portal here. So here we will use Star Portal. Again, Cloth unfortunately has 120 HP, so Moonlight Shuriken will not be able to KO both. But that is alright, as we can set up the rest of our board. I kind of want to keep that spot, but we'll put it down. We will go here, and then we will go ahead and Subspace Swell for the knockout. Now, 5-3, we are ahead 2 prize cards, and unless our opponent is able to gust and bring up this Palkia for an easy knockout, I think we should be pretty fine the rest of this game. But again, I'm not sure. My opponent might be playing something in their deck that I don't know about, so we still have to be cautious here, and I was gonna say play around their outs, but they do have the gust there, so this Palkia will go down and will now be tied 3-3. Okay, now my opponent doesn't have any 2 prize Pokemon in play, so I do want to maybe swing here with the Ice Rider. Now, Ride of the High King won't KO it, so let's just Melony, and let's see what we draw here. Okay. So we do have an attach for turn here, and I do have another Palkia VSTAR if needed. So what I will do is I will Ultra Ball that and that. I will grab that Palkia and attach to it for the turn, just so I have another attacker ready to go yet again. And another reason I feel comfortable attaching all my energy like this, I know some people might say, you know, hold it in case I need to attach retreat, etc. This deck plays a ton of switching outs, so I'm not worried about any boss stall shenanigans, counter catcher, getting stranded in the active, things like that. But again, I'm not an expert at playing this deck. It's something I just picked up recently after I saw how interesting it was. So feel free to comment below about my gameplay, whether you think I should have made a better play, if there's something you would have done differently, or if you just want to talk about the deck in general. I'll definitely check it out, and of course, I do always reply. So let's see, our opponent plays a Nest Ball here. Ooh, this is perfect. Putting this Electrode into play means we do have game on board next turn. Even if they don't promote it active, we can Cross Switcher it up, and then attack with Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. You heard that right. Max Lance for 250 damage for knockout and the game. So hopefully there's no disruption here. I would hate to see an Iono or something like that, considering we do only play 1 boss's orders, even though we have 4 Cross Switchers. By putting 2 to the bottom, odds are is I won't find the other 2 again. So let's see what our opponent looks for here. Okay. Ultra Ball. Makes sense. Excuse me, sorry. Presumably for the B-Barrel. Yeah. Alright. So the B-Barrel finally comes out. Let's see what our opponent can pull out here. Now, in this situation, I do always want to be thinking about worst case scenario, what can I do next turn? let's say there is something in my opponent's deck, I don't know, that does knock out this Ice Rider. Will I have enough benched Pokemon, and will my opponent have enough benched Pokemon for me to knock out that Electrode with a Palkia VSTAR? If this Ice Rider were to go down and the board stands as it is currently, we are not doing enough damage with Subspace Swell. So, I do want to hope this Ice Rider survives. Again, if it doesn't, we will have to Irida for another Pokemon, and hopefully my opponent benches another Pokemon as well. Otherwise, there'll be 100, 120, 140, 200 on the money. But if my opponent attacks with the Electrode and poisons themselves, then 200 will be just enough damage to take the knockout. So, I think my opponent's in a pretty tough spot here, but again, let's see what happens. Spicy Season Curry, okay. Alright, here comes the Electrode. Ooh, Counter Catcher. Okay. They're going to take a knockout on the Mew and go to 1. But unfortunately for my opponent, that's going to be GG's, as we do have a response KO here with the Ice Rider, Calyrex VMAX, and the Max Lance attack. So, GG's, well played by my opponent, but it looks like the blast from the past was too much to overcome. So, all we do here is we promote our Ice Rider. You know, thumbs up and GG's to our opponent. That was well played. And we will Max Lance here for the knockout. Wow, I never thought I'd be saying Max Lance again, but Max Lance for the knockout for our last 2 prize cards. And that's the game. And there you have it. That's Palkia VSTAR with Ice Rider. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you never miss anything that comes from the Shuffle Squad. Give the video a like, as it does help with the algorithm, and leave comments on my gameplay down below, as I do always check them and I do always reply. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.